bet people that call you will have on their minds, hey, Gus, wouldn't it be better if I just, acquired an existing business or even built one from scratch? But I think you've kind of answered that there are drawbacks there. Yeah, maybe you should reinforce those, Gus, for us.
Yeah, and look, it depends on the individual. I always tell my clients the thing you have to remember is any franchise you're looking at, somebody was the original independent business owner, right? So they all started as independent businesses. And so that person or people who started that franchise, they were the pioneers that took the arrows in the back, right? And that's how you have to look at independent business. You've got to be comfortable with a lot more ambiguity because you're figuring it out. You're going to go through a lot of trial and error, which is fine. Because I think sometimes people think it's going to cost me less money, right? Because I'm not paying a franchise fee. But what's the opportunity cost of your time? If it takes you 3 years to make money and I can make money in a franchise in 6 months to a year, and replace my corporate income within a couple of years, what's that worth to me,
Right.
right? So there's the compressing the learning curve. There's the system-wide support that you get that I think people often overlook in that, look, I'm in a franchise where my franchisor has referral partnerships with hundreds of different franchise organizations. I don't have to go out and negotiate those or build those relationships. That's done for me. That frees me up just to coach my clients. If I had to do that, I'd be working 80 hours a week instead of, 20. So there's a force multiplier effect of being in a franchise that you really need to understand. Like, what does the franchisor bring to the table, both during the startup phase and an ongoing phase that amplifies your potential to make money? And then, quite frankly, there's also the best practice sharing amongst the franchisees that you don't get as an independent business owner because business ownership can be a little bit lonely. So
Yeah.
it's nice when you're in a business where you can have colleagues that you can both commiserate with, but also share best practices and learn from. And, we do that on a weekly basis in my franchise, where I'm plugging in with other franchise owners. People have no problem picking up the phone and calling one another and, asking for help that you don't get when you have your own independent business.